there. Welcome to Hourglass Workshops. I'm Nancy.
And I'm Cheryl. And today we have been having a conversation about changing up life. And you
starting over again.
Yeah, starting over.
So what do you have to do? And I said, well, you destroy it.
And I said, no, you don't necessarily destroy it. And we're talking about, whether you're ending a marriage, a career,
whatever,
moving, whatever that might be.
Yeah.
But so we were trying to find the right word, and I'm thinking the right word might be disassemble.
That's a good one. I think so. The one thing you cannot do, you can't have your feet in both worlds.
Right.
So you're going to have to leave something behind to move forward on something else. It's just like if you were a pioneer living in Omaha, Nebraska, and you wanted to go to Seattle. Well, you can't have one foot in Omaha as you take off for Nebraska or Seattle, right?
Right.
So I think that whenever you're forging something new, it's just like being a pioneer.
Yeah, and I think we've all been in places where we've had our 2 feet in 2 different places. Whether your head's not in the marriage, or your heart's not in the marriage, and yet your feet are still in the marriage.
Stuck.
And, and the same is true with a career, either an unfulfilling career or in my case, I was ready to retire. And
it's been a process.
It's been a huge process.
And it's scary.
Yeah.
And
not always pleasant.
No. And not everybody is a pioneer or have a pioneer spirit.
Right.
Some people are far quicker to make big changes in their lives, which I always admire people like that. I work with a lot of young people in their late 20s and early 30s that, are not tied down to family and kids and all that. And they can take off and go to Europe for an entire summer.
But don't you think that's because they have less to disassemble?
Exactly.
When I was 20, I just took off and went to Europe for 6 months. And I remember having a conversation with my father, who loved to travel and didn't until much later in life. And he said, oh, I wish I could do that. And I go, well, sure you can. He goes, no, I can't. I have a job, I have a house, I have responsibilities, and I just can't do that. But I really envy the fact that you can. So I think that part of that is in youth, but can we bring that into our lives now? That ability to disassemble and let go?
I think it's hard. I really do. Okay, so we're going to leave you with this concept. If you want something new, why don't you sit down, and this is not as easy as it sounds, sit down and write out the vision of what your life would be like if there were no limits, if you didn't have to worry about the mortgage and what your neighbors would think and all the other things that we let stop us.
Right.
What would that look like? Because until you even formulate some mild idea, there's no hope of moving forward.
And I think the other thing that does for you is that it forces you to look in a forwardly direction and not constantly be looking in the rearview mirror.
On all the things you can't.
Right.
Or shouldn't.
Yeah, I think that's a great exercise.
Yeah.
Good.
So do that, and then we'll talk a little bit more in our next video about your vision.
Yeah.
So until then, I'm Nancy.
And I'm Cheryl. Bye now.
Bye.